So today we got a great video to talk about. I'm going to play it in just a second. It's actually from CNN and surprisingly enough, it's reporting done right. Jake Tapper is interviewing the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. Before we start today's video guys, make sure to drop a like on it and maybe share it around. Your interaction with this video is what helps promote it through the algorithm to new viewers. If you're a new viewer, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the future videos. Let's roll the clip.
That he sexually assaulted her in the early 90s. You said that you believe Vice President Biden. I want to compare that to 2018 when you said you believe Dr. Christine Blasey Ford after she accused now Justice Brett Kavanaugh of assault. Kavanaugh also, like Biden, categorically denied that accusation. And Blasey Ford, to be honest, she did not have the contemporaneous accounts of her view of what happened that Tara Reade does. You have spoken movingly about how you're a survivor of assault yourself. Why do you believe Biden and not Kavanaugh? Are they not both entitled to the same presumption of innocence, regardless of their political views?
You know, Jake, as a survivor and as a feminist, I'll say this. We need to give people an opportunity to tell their story. But then we have a duty to vet it. And just because you're a survivor doesn't mean that every claim is equal. It means we give them the ability to make their case and the other side as well, and then to make a judgment that is informed. I have read a lot about this current allegation. I know Joe Biden, and I've watched his defense, and there's not a pattern that goes into this. And I think that for these reasons, I'm very comfortable that Joe Biden is who he says he is. He's, and you know what? And that's all I'm going to say about it. I really resent the fact that every time a case comes up, all of us survivors have to weigh in. It is reopening wounds, and it is, you know, take us at our word, ask us for our opinion, and let's move on.
Well, just for the record, the reason I'm asking you is because you're the only Democrat on the show today, not because you're a survivor and not because you're a woman.
No, and it's not.
Thank you so much for your time.
It's not a criticism of you. You're doing your job, and I appreciate that. I'm just sharing, I think, some of the simmering, anger that we survivors have every time that, we've got to confront this from someone else's behavior that we weren't a party to, that we weren't even a part, of the reality in the moment. What I think is this. We owe it to every woman who has a story to listen to that story and then to vet that story, ask the questions and be critical thinkers, and then make a judgment based on all of those pieces. I've done that in this instance. And I'll tell you this, I don't believe that it's consistent with the Joe Biden that I know, and I do believe Joe, and I support Joe Biden.
All right, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, thank you so much for your time. I want to apologize to our viewers for...
So one of the biggest things that the recent allegations had revealed is how shoddy of a standard Believe All Women is. And it had left the whole Me Too movement in shambles. Rose McGowan is one of the feminist leaders in the movement who is actually calling out Alyssa Milano right now, and several other women who now stand by Biden because he is a Democrat. Jake Tapper rightfully pointed out how Whitmer actually said in 2018 that she believes Ford's accusation against Kavanaugh despite the fact that she had zero corroborating evidence. Compared to the Biden case where we now have the evidence that Tara Reade's mother called Larry King in 1993 to talk about the allegations, 27 years before Biden even ran for president. It's funny how, now that it's a Democrat caught in the Me Too crossfire, it's all of a sudden about due process for them. And Jake again rightfully pointed out that the Kavanaugh case seems really weak, but for some reason he is not entitled for the same standard applied for Biden. Care to guess in the comments why? Notice how before she gives her comment, she has to qualify it with the fact that she is a survivor herself and that she is a feminist. I never liked that type of argument. It's always abused by politicians to grandstand and shift the focus. Her being a survivor doesn't change the double standards applied to this case by the Democrats. She then goes on to say that just because you're a survivor, it doesn't mean any claim is equal and that you need to give the other side a chance to make their case, and based on that, make a judgment. Sound a lot like due process to me, which was thrown out completely when it came to Kavanaugh. And again, after due process to both these cases, the Biden case, even though it's very flimsy, it's more believable considering his creepy behavior towards women both underage and mature in the past. On top of that, you have a 27-year-old footage making the same claim on national TV before Joe Biden became so mainstream, unlike in the case of Kavanaugh, where even Ford's own father thought she is lying. The most annoying part of this video is when the governor plays the victim. She says that she hates the fact that every time this kind of cases appear in the mainstream media, they interview survivors like her, but she is not interviewed for that reason. She is interviewed because she is a Democrat who stood by Ford when the allegations seemed way weaker. But now all of a sudden, because of her affiliation to the Democratic Party, she completely forsakes believe all women and stands behind Biden. I love the fact that Jake pointed it out to her. Sure, he could have grilled her more and really go after her, but he did a good job, and considering it's on CNN, it makes it even better. So props to Jake Tapper. And what do you guys think about this story and about the allegations against Biden? I think that much like the Kavanaugh case, Biden needs his due process and is innocent until proven guilty. Considering his creepy behavior in the past and who he is, I believe he had done it. And if we had a magical 8-ball that had true magical powers and it could tell you whether it happened or not, I would have placed my money on the fact that it happened. It doesn't change the fact that the burden of proof is still on Tara Reade and that she needs to make the case proving him guilty rather than him making the case that he is innocent. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to drop a like on this video before you leave it, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the future videos. I'll see you in the next one.